Hey boys and girls, Mom, Ken Smith Fishing. Beautiful world headquarters here in downtown Zavala, Texas. You can hear all the commerce going on outside. And yes, this is the place where we've got water issues. If you hadn't heard, it's been a mess down here. So every time we get a bill, it seems like, which really about once a quarter, I guess they test the water, and it consistently fails. It looks a little bit like tea when it comes out of the faucet. So apparently it blew up. Well, so we lost pressure Saturday or Sunday of last week. Nobody had water. We finally got water back on. That end of town, I guess the east end of town, got water back Tuesday, I guess. We didn't get water back till Wednesday morning, and we're still on a boil alert, so it's a mess. Everything blew up at the city council. But hopefully we can get some help down here and get our water system right so we can start drinking the water again. So anyway, that's a little aside. So we came to Rayburn on Tuesday evening. I only got to fish a little bit Wednesday. Thursday was ugly. Of course, Thursday was Thanksgiving. And then we had family on Friday, so we didn't get out to fish. And then I was gonna get up this morning. I got up at 6, and when I got up, it was pouring down rain. And truthfully, I'm just not that mad at them anymore. So we did get to do a little bit of fishing Wednesday morning, and here's how the day started. So remember, by the way, guys, the Lynx is the boat that the traditional bass cat guys didn't like because it was slow. This is about 35-40 gallons of fuel in the boat, live wells empty, me by myself, running into about a 10-mile-an-hour wind. Look at the speedometer. Go to the dog. Yeah, go to the dog. Got a buddy with him. I think I had 2 on Bo to the dog. I hope y'all could see that. I think I had 2 hooked on the first cast. When they jumped, one come off and one stayed on. Oh, you didn't see that, did you? Better fish. Second cast. Well, that was interesting. Caught those fish out front. I caught several more. I'm not going to show y'all. They're all the same size. And decided to push up into the creek a little bit. The water's cleared up quite a bit. This is the same area we caught them in, I guess it'd be 9 days ago. Today's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. But the water has cooled off dramatically. So the water when we were in here the other day was mid-60s. Out front it's 55. I hit that same stump coming in here with my trolling motor. It was 55 coming in here. I guess if you got a good Bob Jack plate, you might as well use it. Get that motor up out of the water. Anyway, water back here is 49 degrees. So in 400 yards, that water cooled off 6 degrees. And I have not had a sniff. I had one right in the mouth out there, but once I got in the creek proper, they didn't bite at all. So we're gonna move back out yonder, and I get a sense this may be an A-rig day. So I'm gonna dig my new 6 cents A-rig out. And if I show A-rig fishing, there's A-rig bites. If not, we'll be back to throwing trout. We're also gonna probably do a little crappie fishing this afternoon. So let's check it out. That's the old brush pile fish. Guys, watch out there at 80 feet, right at the top of the screen. You remember when we put that LVS 34, the new transducer, on the boat? Taylor at Jones Trolling Motor tilted it up because he said that way you could see your bait. I've actually seen a topwater, but I really like immediately, bam, you see it right there. Immediately seeing that bait splash down, and I can track it so much easier when I'm brush pile fishing, or really any kind of fishing, but I really like having that transducer tilt up just one click beyond what's normal. It ain't always the right size kind of brush pile. I mean, pull up, first cast I have a double on, next cast I have another one on, and I didn't have another bite for a long, well, it's not true. I had 2 or 3 slap it, and I was rotating through bait colors, but I could not find anything they really wanted to eat. The water had cleared up in that area some. It was about the same temperature out where I was fishing, but when I moved back in the creek, it was cold. The water had really cooled off down into the, actually amazingly into the high 40s, which just boggled my mind. I'm sure it warmed up later in the day, but I really didn't run across any groups of fish. I came out later and fished out more towards the main lake, and I had 2 or 3 slaps. Matter of fact, I had one slap it and then threw right back in there, or not right back in there, made 3 or 4 more casts. A lot of times when I get one to slap it, I'll just spot lock or drop my power poles according to where I am, and I'll just fan cast, and I may pick up a couple of different colors or a couple of different baits. And I had finally caught another one, this fish right here. I had just had one slap it and miss it. I knew there's some fish out here somewhere. Not a giant, but a bite. What do you want to give him a kiss? Oh, the dog, give him kisses. Oh, it's good kisses. And then the fishing was pretty tough. I talked to a couple guys on the water, and one of them hadn't had a bite. Actually, two of them hadn't had a bite. Talked to Aaron on the water, he hadn't had a bite. And you know, when it gets like that, I get my crappie poles out. And so I got my crappie pole out, got over. I would pull up to a brush pile, I would bass fish it, and then if I didn't get bit, I'd crappie fish it. And I actually stuck my, and I'm gonna do more of this because I enjoy it. I think it's fun video footage to watch, but I stuck my, one of my GoPros on my Humminbird where I could see my Garmin with my live scope. And you'll see right here, there's a little bit, you'll see the bait going down, and you'll see that fish chasing it. All right, so look out there, about there's 15 feet, there comes a little crappie jig. That's a 32nd ounce. It's a tiny little jig, but you can still pick it up as long as you got the transducer pointed to the right spot. So you see it's coming to the top of the pile. Nobody comes up to meet it, so I'm gonna hop it. I'm gonna bring it, trying to get somebody to come out of the pile and eat it. Nobody's there. But that might have been a fish. We're gonna see a couple right here come out of the side of this pile, come up off the bottom. See those fish down there? It's like, oh, I'm about to get bit. No, thank you, I don't wanna eat that. Oh, I wanna get bit. No, thank you, I'm not gonna eat that. And I mean, they just won't eat it. And that happens sometimes. That's a day when they're probably not biting much of anything, when you see that right there. And when they're doing that, and they'll go down there and literally look at it and not eat it, that tells you that it's just not on. Because when they're biting, that crappie jig never gets out of the top of that pile, much less all the way to the bottom. So it was tough. I don't know what else to tell you. So I talked to my buddy John, who you guys have seen me fish with. John fished with me a couple of years ago. He fishes out of an older Champion. You'll see him around. He lives right by Monterey Park, so you'll see him there. And anytime you see John, you'll see Rollo with him. And it's not that Rollo, it's his little dog. If y'all remember Rollo from Sanford and Sons, you probably got to be 50 or older to even remember Sanford and Sons. But Rollo was one of Mr. Sanford's best friends. So anyway, or no, maybe his son's friend, doesn't matter. So I talked to John, and he had been smashing them last week, and he said the weather warmed up and the bite just shut out on him. And then I talked to Dickie. Dickie went out, yesterday, would have been Friday, and he said he basically spent a day on the water with a neighbor's son, and he had 3 bites. He said he caught a 5-pounder, a couple 2-pounders on a trap, a rattle bait. He didn't, maybe he said trap. And then his neighbor caught, I do know he caught this one. They were being kind of coy because what they caught this fish on, but I'm pretty sure this one was also on a chrome rattle trap. So that's a dandy right there. I'm sure that was pretty exciting when he stuck that one. So that's kind of my week down here. You know, we had a great time. I actually got to organize a little bit. You'll see I've really finally got almost all my stuff up out of boxes and on pegs, or organized where I at least have some idea where the stuff goes. So if nothing else, I had a nice relaxing weekend down here at the lake, and we'll be back down again in December. We've got so much footage still from the flyovers or the aerial mapping we're going to put up. I do want to show you one thing. So if you remember from my video practicing for the TTO championship, by the way, this is out now. If you haven't seen this, this is a new 6 Sense deal. They've got an axle finesse jig out, and what that does is, I just got these, I have not even fished with them yet. That hook is on that same rotating axle that they've got on that shaky head. So that's something that's brand new, or pretty new. But the other thing that I've never really caught fish good on a deep jerkbait. I've always caught them on a big build jerkbait. I've caught a bunch of them on shallow jerkbaits. You guys have seen me do that. But I wanted to try, after I had that fish the other day that broke me off, even though it was a little one, a lot of the brush piles that I fish, the tops of them are down pretty deep, especially if they start falling over, and they're still fishing those piles. And generally my experience is a fish will come from the top of the pile, maybe up 4 feet to get a bait, unless they're really, really turned on. So if you got a top that's more than 8 feet deep, your jerkbait, a basic normal jerkbait's really not getting down there to those fish. Sorry, had a little camera blip there. So I wanted to order something that would get down, and this is not a new bait, but it's a new bait to me. It's a 106 DD. It's a deep diving 6-inch jerkbait. That particular bait is the wabi sabi color. So this bait's designed to run 4 to 7 feet deep. So now you're getting in play those brush piles at the tops are 10, 11, 12 feet down. You can get a bait down there and entice a fish out of them. I wanted to throw it a little bit Wednesday, and me being me, I left the box. I ordered 8 of them. I left the box that came in sitting on the counter over here and didn't have any of them in the boat with me. So next time I'm down here, they're staying in the boat. I'd laid them on the front deck, so I'll put them up. And I'm really interested to throw that bait because I think that's going to be a player through the winter when those fish get in those piles and are just kind of suspended out there in that deep water as the water cools off. So that's a cool new bait along with the axle jig. So that's my Rayburn report. Water temp, I didn't tell y'all early on, water temp was in the high 50s, but we've had a ton of rain all through the Thanksgiving holiday. If I get an update on, I don't know anybody on the water. I actually drove down to the Monterey ramp today, and it's as few people as I've seen on a Saturday on a holiday weekend as I've seen on the water in a long time. So if I run across somebody that's been on the water can give us an update on water temp, I will, but it's been in the mid 50s on the main body of the lake, and then if you move back in the creeks it's quite a bit cooler, but the bait seemed to have backed out of that really cold water from what I saw, and generally if the bait backs out, the fish kind of follow a little bit. So I hope if you're coming down here that is helpful. I certainly enjoy being out on Rayburn this past week, and we'll be back down here quite a bit through the end of the year, we hope, as our Dallas house continues to be under construction, and we've got an actual kitchen here and the kids can actually walk around in the house. So nice to be at Rayburn. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll have, let's see, this week, I'm not even sure which flyover videos. I think we're probably gonna do the Ewing Cut on Thursday, which is for how you run from basically Shirley Creek up to the 103 bridge. I don't know that that'll all be one video, but we'll get you most of the way up there with that video so that those of you who want to go up the Angelina Arm can do that. So again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.